MrBeast, aka Jimmy Donaldson, was arrested. Now, it was just a prank by his good friend Airrack, but if Jimmy were my client, we'd have to have a serious talk about the 4 things he did wrong during his arrest. Jimmy's first mistake happened immediately. See if you can catch it.
Hey, how you doing? Look, I stopped you for your tent, man.
Yeah, this is my car.
Oh,
Right off the bat, he starts talking to the police officer. The only thing you have to provide to a police officer after you get pulled over is your ID and your insurance. No matter how nice he's trying to be to you, remember, you don't have to answer his questions, and everything you say can and will be used against you. And here's Jimmy's second mistake.
Oh, it's yours. You know the tent.
Yes, the problem is when I lower it, people stalk me and take photos with me. So
I got you.
Jimmy is still talking to the police officer, but his big mistake was continuing to talk about the window tint. Many police officers would interpret that as him confessing to his window tint being illegal. The tricky thing is that every state has different laws regarding window tint, but this is exactly the kind of ticky-tack thing that a police officer will pull you over for if they're really looking to try to investigate you for a DWI or other type of crime. After the cops pull you over, they're supposed to use a special tool to measure the variable light transmission known as the VLT. In North Carolina, your tint cannot be more than 32%. If I was Jimmy's attorney, I would immediately point out that the cops did not use this special tool to measure the exact level of the window tint. And as a result of that, if they tried to charge Jimmy with any type of crime from the traffic stop, we could get the case thrown out. But the cops keep the prank going.
Look, if you're good, I'll let you roll. You mind stepping out me real quick, sir, please?
why?
Just step out. I'll talk to you right here. Just a second, man.
Here, MrBeast did the right thing when he asked why, after the officers asked him to step out of the car. The police are allowed to detain you and keep you where you are without arresting you. The key, though, is they can only keep you for a reasonable period of time. They are only allowed to hold you long enough to complete the traffic stop, write the ticket, or search your vehicle. And then Jimmy handled this part pretty well.
Special key for me? You've got a warrant for your arrest for communicating threats. I'm gonna pat you down, make sure you ain't got nothing illegal, and we're gonna go to the jail and take care of it. All right?
The officer claims to have a warrant for communicating threats. Now, I'm sure Jimmy had no idea at the time, but that is a Class 1 misdemeanor, punishable by up to 120 days in jail and a discretionary fine in North Carolina. In Texas, there is a similar offense known as terroristic threat, which is a Class B misdemeanor, punishable by up to 180 days in jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Jimmy also did the right thing by not resisting or arguing with the police when they put handcuffs on him. Legally, the police are allowed to put handcuffs on you or zip tie you as part of the detention without it being technically labeled an arrest. And if the police have a warrant for your arrest, it makes it even more likely they would put handcuffs on you so that you don't try to escape. The worst thing Jimmy could have done in this situation would be to try to turn around, walk away, run, or argue with the police. If the police are dead set on arresting you, don't say a word and allow them to take you into custody. Otherwise, they're going to force you down onto the ground, potentially hurt you, and charge you with resisting arrest or evading arrest. And then I think Jimmy noticed something I also noticed.
I'll get you as quick as I can, man.
Let me guess. One of my friends put you up to that.
MrBeast is right to be suspicious here, because you know what didn't happen? The police didn't read him his Miranda rights. If the officers had questions for him, they would have had to read him his rights, and he would have had to have waived those rights in order to use those statements as evidence against him. Remember, you are being recorded in the back of that patrol car. Everything you say and do is being recorded and will be used against you in court by the prosecutor. And for Jimmy's third mistake,
Do you have anybody that has problems with you or anything that would take out a threat or communicating threats more?
I have a lot of people who would.
at this point, MrBeast should say absolutely nothing. The standard for requiring Miranda rights to be read to you are: number 1, you must be in custody, which means you're not free to leave, and number 2, you must be asked questions or interrogated by the police. At this point, that's exactly what's happening, and Jimmy is being way too talkative. The moment the officer decided he was going to arrest him, Jimmy should be absolutely quiet and not say a word. Jimmy's fourth mistake.
Right there.
So my kid might know who you are?
Sir? I don't.
No, you had to wait for that. You can't do that stuff right now.
Again, you're still being recorded in the police station, so Jimmy should not have said a word. If the police officer asks you a question, be quiet. If they make an order, comply. Otherwise, fight the rest of it in court. For an even deeper dive on exactly what to say and what to do if you get pulled over by a police officer, click the screen to watch this video, and I'll see you there.